Ladies and gentlemen, I hope all of you are having a beautiful day. Welcome to Qatar. I am extremely delighted to welcome all of you to another weekend of F1 racing. This race, this weekend was extremely messy. Extremely messy. I can't even explain it. There's so much stuff that I gotta talk about. This is gonna be a complex video indeed. Lots of reactions, lots of things that I want to talk about. So here I go. I am excited, but at the same time, I am extremely disappointed, extremely sad as well with Ferrari's result. So let me get into it. Qatar Prix 2023. Here we come. So we started. So no, first of all, this weekend was a short weekend in a way because it was the sprint weekend, so it was gonna be only one free practice and then qualies, and then there was like the sprint shootout and then the sprint itself, and then on Sunday race. So on our free practice number one and the only free practice of this weekend, we did fantastic. So we got P2, P3 with Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc. So no issues there. We started our weekend good. Felt like we're gonna have a spark there. So all the Ferrari fans, we were all excited. It felt like we knew we couldn't get the P1 because Max Verstappen is just once again back to his good old self, back to Mr. Verstappen, and also I want to congratulate on this topic. Now that I've mentioned Max Verstappen, he has been officially confirmed as three-time world champion. There's 5 races remaining and he's already world champion. Max Verstappen is having a very, very interesting season, also a very interesting career. We all know in 2021, Mercedes fans, they all say two-time world champion, but in the rule book, in the history books, we all know it's 3-time, but I think it's debatable. 2021 was one of the craziest seasons that I've personally, of course I've been watching a lot of races. The only issue is that I was too young to experience all these other races. Of course, I've been watching F1 for a long time, but back then I was still a kid. So of course I was watching F1, but I wasn't really properly with the points, with the weekends, from race to race, truly going into the analysis and the data and all these very complex information. So 2021, being almost a full-grown adult, reaching that age where I understand everything about Formula One. 2021 was one of the craziest seasons I've ever witnessed, and of course, in my eyes, it's very debatable, and we can talk about it all day long. So I don't want to take too much of your time and talk about 2021 because that's a whole different video. That's a whole different conversation. But congratulations to Max Verstappen, who has won his 3rd world championship already. There's still, I think, 4 to 5 races remaining and already world champion. So it's crazy. He did have a fantastic season so far, and he's just on a monstrous. I mean, even today, in today's race, he won by 20 seconds ish. He's insane. Just the pace that he has compared to all the other teams, it's insane. It's insane. We are we are witnessing a very, very talented pilot, and he's also one of a kind. I don't think, of course, there's the likes of, Fangio and Jim Clark, Jackie Stewart, Michael Schumacher, Ayrton Senna. There's so many of these legends. Of course, Max Verstappen is not there yet, but he will be at the end of his career one of the greats indeed. So, I just want to congratulate him on his championship win. So Ferrari this weekend, the race itself, the qualies. So like I said, free practice number one, and the only free practice that we had this weekend. We did fantastic. We had P2 and P3, like I said, with Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc. Everything looked good, and then came qualifyings, and that looked really, really bad. We did really, really bad, and we fell. I was confused. Honestly, I had a chance to watch the races live because like the timings were finally perfect for me because usually I have to wake up at like 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m. ish. It's too early for me, so sometimes I miss a lot of the action. But this time from A to Z, I was able to watch the full performances, and we struggled so badly. We struggled really, really badly in the qualies, and especially turn number 4 and turn number 13, if I'm not wrong. We had so much wind sensitivity, and it's unacceptable. It is, because all the other teams, McLaren, Red Bull, Mercedes, even Williams, even Haas, even Alfa Romeo, all these other teams, they had struggles, but they didn't struggle with wind sensitivity like we did, and it's unacceptable. And I was really, really frustrated with that already. That Charles Leclerc, every time he hit that turn 4 and then turn 13, he literally went off the track. He could not find any grip, and I literally saw it through like the camera that literally like he couldn't do it. He couldn't control it because there's just too much wind, and our car just looked really, really light, and it was just like really weird, and it was really unacceptable, and it felt like I don't know where the mistakes is coming from. I don't know if it's like our engineers, if it's like our mechanics, but whoever has worked on that car and whoever had prepared that car for this weekend in Qatar has done a very, very bad job for the qualies, because it did not look good I think it was on Friday. It did not look good at all. And then in the shutout, not shootout, I meant in the sprint weekend on Saturday, we did not have any pace. We could not compete with. I mean, we have no competition for Red Bull, and then we could not compete against. We could not compete against McLaren. Are just way too fast for us, and then Mercedes also had a way better weekend compared to us in the race and in the sprint. And honestly, I do not understand. It was a really difficult, messy situation. And also, I want to mention the track itself. The track was really, really tricky, and there was a rule. I've never seen this ever. I mean, in the racing that I've seen so far in my life, I have never seen this rule personally. Basically, for those who have not watched the race, there was a 3 pit stops required. If, let's say, a team said, no, we're not going to follow this rule, they were going to get black flagged. So that means, for those who are still new to F1, that means if your racer gets a black flag, that means he's disqualified from the race. So the FIA today were extremely strict, and 3 pit stops, it was required. You had no other choice. And it was the right decision, because the tires, every team, even Red Bull, they all struggled so badly because of the heat as well. It's not their fault. It's not the team's fault. It's not the F1's fault. It's just how the weather in Qatar is. It's extremely humid. And also, I want to also point this out, that I did say that Singapore was the most was the most hottest, the most difficult race on the calendar, but I was wrong, and underestimated Qatar. Qatar is actually the most difficult race on the calendar. Just the humidity and the all the racers, they struggled so much mentally, like physically a lot, but mentally so much. And if for those who have seen the podiums, you had to see all three. So of course it was Verstappen who got P1. He won the race, and then you had Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris, and all three of them, they could not even sit on the seats in when they were in the cool down room. And Piastri was laying flat on the ground the whole time. He was exhausted. And same thing for Lando Norris and Max Verstappen. I'm not taking them away from that, but they all looked so exhausted. They looked mentally drained. And also, I want to also mention that Logan Sargent also had to, and Logan Sargent was, I think he was P13 or P14, and he literally had to retire from the race. You know why? Because he was sick. He literally felt sick because of the heat and the humidity. He could not handle it. And I have to give my greatest of love and respect to Mr. Sargent and Williams, because that's the right decision. You don't want to see your racer get sick, and it could be dangerous because the humidity already is so hot, and it's not just hot, it's really humid. And with this humidity, it's like, what type of example can I give? It's like wearing a full-on from head to toe. It's like you wear a winter jumpsuit in the desert. That's exactly, I think, like that's the best way I could compare this type of weather, and how truly these racers, from Verstappen to all the way till the bottom 20, so all 20 racers, that's how much they struggle with this heat. And it's just not a joke. And I have to give my hats off. I have to take my hat off to all these racers, and how they were able to complete the race, because it was truly out of this world. And they're true athletes, man. I have to say, they're true athletes, ladies and gentlemen. We have to give them their respect. So I know it has nothing to do with Ferrari, but just wanted to express how much respect I have for these athletes, how much respect I have for F1 and this sport. And it's an extreme sport. Of course, it's not like the most of dangerous. I don't want comparisons now, but since my favorite sport is F1 and football, so of course I'm gonna strictly talk about football. But these lads, they're truly athletes, and just give them their respect, and just how they even did, and being able to manage all the way till the last lap. So that's that, and I hope Logan Sargent will be okay. Everything seemed to be good after, and he did not need any doctors. They were there on site, and they asked him if he needed, but everything was good. He did not ask for any more medical help. All he needed was just a cool down, and just taking a nice cold bath there. So just want to wish the absolute best for Logan Sargent regardless. So back to the racing. So tires took an absolute toll. The tires just had no grip. They had no resistance. And literally, they also, by the rule, they could only go 18 laps. And, if you went more than that, then you would have been black flagged. So it was one of the special races that I've ever seen. And it was a very, very special one indeed. And lastly, I would mention that only Charles Leclerc was the one that was racing, that was on the track. Carlos Sainz had a fuel leak before the race, so he did not even start the race, and he did not even compete. And it's just gutting, very, very gutting, very Very fucking frustrating. Very fucking frustrating. I felt like we could have done more, and also, the fact that Lewis Hamilton crashed out, he did not finish the race. It could have been giving us a big advantage there. Because we're also fighting against Mercedes for the second place in the constructors championship, and those are big points because it's a lot of money that we're applying for, and that money we can really put it towards our development of our car for next season, and in other how do we say, in other departments as well. So we need those points, and we're in a tight battle with Mercedes for P2 in the constructors, and we're still very tight because George Russell today, well, he was only one competing on the track because Lewis Hamilton was out of the race on lap number 1, and Charles Leclerc came in at P5. So the race is still very much on for P2 in the constructors. It's going to be very tight all the way till the final race in Abu Dhabi, but it's really gutting. It's fucking painful. That's what the feeling is all about, because we could have done some fantastic performance with Sainz and Charles Leclerc. I mean, of course, Charles Leclerc was the only one that was racing, and not seeing Sainz, it just makes you question, because Sainz could also do a lot of magical moments. He's not just a data-wise racer, but he's also very smart, and he has a good racing IQ, and that's not teachable. That's just, you just have it in you. It's natural. So it just sucks. It's gutting. It's frustrating. It just makes you question what could have happened if Sainz was able to start the race, and if he was able to finish the race for us, and what type of result could we have. And we would have put more pressure on Mercedes, because at the moment, after this race, our point gap with Mercedes is at 26 points. It's not that bad, but we could have cut it down to maybe 10 even, if Sainz would have started the race. So here is the results. Charles Leclerc came in at P5, and Sainz, unfortunately, because of the fuel leak, and then he was not able to even get in the car on Sunday, so today, and he did not even start the race. So very gutting. So let's just focus on our next race. That will be in Texas, I think, if I'm not wrong, in the night, but I know 100% that it's a USA Grand Prix, but I may be wrong, but I think it is Texas. So see you all in Texas. I do apologize for my long video, but today that was a very special race. In all conditions were really strict. Racing was intense. Mentality wise, it was really strict as well. The FIA was really strict. It was not like a normal race. There's a lot of rules to follow. There was a lot of intensity, a lot of rules changes, just so much going on, a lot of adrenaline pumping, and there's a lot of stuff that we had to talk about in today's video. So I do apologize for this long video. It's going to go towards the 20th minute, but I just had to do it. Usually I keep my videos under 10 minutes, but today that was a special one. So I do thank all of you for watching my video. I do sincerely hope that you have watched my video till the very end. I know it's a lengthy one, but it's worth it, and I think a lot of my good reaction have been put on. I really went into details, and I try to work hard, and I try to give more analysis and try to study more and more. And once again, I do apologize, and I will try to not make my videos any longer. So grazie a tutti, grazie to all for watching my video. I want to wish you all a very good night. Take care, everybody. Have a great night once again. But bye-bye.